Hello and welcome to Industry Outlook Expert Panel. Industry Outlook has become increasingly popular as a business magazine due to its in-depth coverage of primary and secondary industries, right from mining and agriculture to manufacturing, engineering, and construction. This has made it a valuable resource for industry professionals who want to stay up to date on the latest trends and developments in the industry. As a trusted platform for industry experts to share their insights, it gives you a unique perspective on the challenges and opportunities facing businesses today. While extensive coverage has been done of the tertiary sector, there remains a lack of sufficient focus on the primary and secondary industries. This gap is aptly addressed by Industry Outlook, which has emerged as a paramount source for insights from leaders within these industries. Our publication has been successfully covering a diverse range of sectors, including automotive, electronics, pharmaceuticals, machinery manufacturing, and more. Our readers have greatly benefited from the convenience of accessing comprehensive industrial information at one platform. Our aim is to be definitive and authoritative source of industrial knowledge with an unwavering commitment to delivering multifaceted and dependable content. Industry Outlook serves as an essential conduit for enterprise decision makers. It offers a platform for the leaders to share impactful success stories, thereby influencing business strategies. As a distinctive forum for business leaders, Industry Outlook showcases the developments in dynamic markets, enabling entrepreneurs and executives to proactively navigate industry shifts and maintain their competitive edge. For the latest updates, please follow us on LinkedIn and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So through this webinar, we will try to understand how such challenges can be addressed to harness the potential of AI and tap into the new opportunities it offers. On the panel today, we have some esteemed guests from different industries who will share their views on adoption of AI in manufacturing. We have Mr. Sreeji Gopinathan, CIO Lupin. He leads the end-to-end IT and digital portfolio of the company. He brings to Lupin over 20 years of domain expertise and global experience. Prior to joining Lupin, he was with Reckitt Beckensur. He has also associated with companies like Philips, Procter & Gamble, ISRO, and ABB. Then we have Mr. Shailesh Sharma, Director Operations, SKF India and Southeast Asia. He leads manufacturing and operational excellence at SKF India Limited and provides insight for robust performance of the manufacturing processes. In his role, he is focused on developing processes and procedures for manufacturing operations, scaling digitalization, and optimizing the company's operational footprint to further drive efficiency. All right, so without any further ado, let me invite Mr. Sreeji Gopinathan, CIO Lupin, to share his views on the adoption of AI in pharmaceutical industry. Over to you, Mr. Sreeji.
Good morning, and thanks, Sudhagar. Can I share my screen?
Yes, please.
Okay. The topic that I've been asked to talk about is adoption of artificial intelligence in manufacturing sector. I come from the pharmaceutical life sciences sector, but I'm not going to talk specifically just on that sector. I have taken a more generic view. And then try to bring up the current situation in terms of where we are in terms of the journey and what the challenges are that we are facing. Sudhagar mentioned some of those in the opening statement, but I will go through a little bit more in detail in terms of the different use cases and the challenges. Okay. So yeah, that's what I will do today. Really give a perspective of whether AI is making an impact to the manufacturing outcomes. When I say manufacturing, it is not just the actual manufacturing process, the manufacturing organization's outcome, right? And where is it that AI is or can play? Which are the key areas and use cases where we are in terms of the current state? And more importantly, what are the challenges that we are facing? So yeah, the question is that many instances in the conversations internally as well as externally, there are people who are very enthusiastic about the possibilities that artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, generative AI can bring for manufacturing companies. But there are also a lot of people who are not very convinced yet on whether this is going to have an impact or not. So that does bring in different organizational dynamics when we try to do this kind of initiatives in the organization. But this is nothing new to any sort of new technology that advance on us. So if you remember when computers came, it took probably many years and sometimes decades in certain organizations to just to adopt those computers. People were so used to working on paper and keep them printing out, keep them in files, and refer them. And it took a lot of effort, a lot of proof points to be created within the organization that this is actually making people's life easier. Yeah, and similarly, before pandemic, in a country like India, working remotely, collaborating remotely, using technology was never accepted. But overnight, that had to become the reality, which proved effective. So it's similarly, the AI journey is also going through that kind of learning process, organizational change process before it actually becomes a real way of life. So in this figure, Sudhakar already quoted, 93% companies recognize, as per the Deloitte survey, that AI is the key technology for propelling growth and innovation in manufacturing. Already there is impact different organizations are seeing in different areas like process automation. We used to do process automation in the past in various forms and shapes in the past as well, but AI has brought in another dimension to that, along with robotic process automation and enterprise BI platforms and digital performance management dashboards and all those things put together on top of the AI enabled process automation is already showing results. Similarly, in the front end, when it comes to sales and marketing, the market trends prediction, the sales forecasting prediction, all those things are already seeing improvements. Quality inspection is another area where some organizations are successfully leveraging AI-enabled technology. And product yield improvements is another area where you will see that some companies have started seeing improvements because of the machine learning algorithms that has been deployed, looking at all the different parameters that contributes into the outcome of a production process. It could be actual in-process parameters of the compound or the device or a car or whatever is being manufactured, but also all the other parameters like temperature, humidity, all those things are brought into that data science models that is built, which helps isolate parameters which has more impact on the outcome compared to other parameters, and that's how the yield impact is impacted upon, is improved upon. So some manufacturers actually are claiming that they have realized up to 50% reduction in production time. And this again, I'm not saying this is in a pharma sector scenario, but in more component oriented and discrete oriented manufacturing, this may be difficult. But when there is a continuous automated manufacturing process, which is there in sectors like steel, automobiles, etc., that end-to-end approach is easier to put in place, and hence the bottlenecks that gets removed as they go through the journey will catapult the journey in reducing that overall production time and reducing the errors and the failures that happen, so that there is more effective outcome that comes in that process. If you look at the economics, the AI contribution to manufacturing industry. This is not the AI business in a volume that I'm talking about. The impact that AI can have on manufacturing industry to drive their outcomes can be as high as about $16 trillion in a couple of years. That's the impact AI can bring to manufacturing industries as per the latest estimates. So it's a huge opportunity that is staring at the manufacturing organization in terms of how and what AI can do in terms of the outcomes that they want to drive. Now, if you look at the business of AI itself, when it comes to the manufacturing sector, that is also going through a compounded annual growth rate of about 25%, which is huge. 2019, it was at about $2 billion, and the expectation is that it hits about 10 billion by 2027. So the organizations, the tech companies, the data science companies who will provide that service to create that 16 trillion contribution to manufacturing industry, they themselves are growing significantly. So if you look at whether AI is going to be a game changer for manufacturing, all the indications that we are seeing, all the early outcomes that we are seeing, and the economics predictions based on the trends that is observed, is definitely telling us, yes, AI is going to be a game changer for manufacturing industry.
Thank you, Mr. Sreeji, for a comprehensive overview of what is on the anvil in terms of AI adoption in manufacturing. I would now like to invite Mr. Shailesh to share his views from the machinery manufacturing point of view. Mr. Shailesh, over to you.
Thank you, Sudhakar, and thank you, Mr. Sreeji. It was fantastic. Okay, so I'm coming from component manufacturing, or you can say a bearing manufacturing industry. And I am on other side where we are deploying, as Mr. Sreeji said, the business has to take it forward. It is not a technology, or it is not a job of only CIO. They only can help. But the real thing comes from the operation. What exactly we need, why we are doing it, do we have enough competency available, and what basic infrastructure is available or not. So a whole lot of preparation is required. So we have started taking baby steps in artificial intelligence. We have not done in full scale anything. Most of the things are at POC level. But before that, before going to artificial intelligence, it is important to build the infrastructure, as I said, first of all. And artificial intelligence depends on the data. So the source of data, what data, and whether our machines are capable to generate those data or not. This is to be seen. So we have crossed that phase. We have upgraded our all machines. Our control system has now become all PLCs. Earlier, there were some different control system. We have tried to bring all the uniformity as far as possible. The data has been digitized so that the digitalization can be done. And that has been done to the great extent, and that has completed, scaled up everywhere. Lot of challenges we faced is most of the things Sreeji has already mentioned. We faced a couple of challenges, especially related to competencies and the infrastructure and the machine condition and all that. But more or less, we have come out of that. We have intention to deploy all technology and AI in production, quality, supply chain, and maintenance. These are the 4 areas where we are working. Of course, when we do in production and maintenance, this is main objective of this is to do related to efficiency improvement, OE improvement, or loss reduction, which also turn out to be productivity improvement. And when we talk about quality, it is, of course, as name suggests, to reduce our rejection, reduce our scrap, reduce our customer complaints. And in supply chain, of course, the main thing is the forecasting, which is the biggest problem in the world. We can't really predict what is coming in, how macro or microeconomic situation will disrupt the things, and which creates a lot of inventory, not only in our own business, but also to our tier 1, tier 2, and all the suppliers. So these are few things which we are trying to do. So maybe I can give one example, which we have recently done in our quality function, which has given a good result. And I think that can give some insight about it.
Sure.
Just a moment, let me just show this. Is it visible, Subhata?
Yes.
Still? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So SKF also have a business of in services where we take care of rotating equipment, performance of our customer, and we have developed our own sensors. So the sensor which you are seeing is a own developed. It is called IMX8, mainly for vibration checking. Just a moment. Okay. So first of all, the process, how bearings are manufactured. So this is a typical business process flow. So bearing have essentially 4 components: inner ring, outer ring, ball or rolling element, and cages. These are 4, but depending upon the application, there are seal, shield, and different components, but we are not going there. So we work in channel concept, like inner line is 1 and outer line is 1. That means these are 2 different components where the main is the grinding process. And there is a sequence of operation, like face grinding, raceway grinding, bore grinding. And there is a super finishing operation, which is called raceway. Similarly, in outer ring, the same thing happens. And finally, the ball and cages also come, which are bought out components, and assembly happens. One of the most critical quality parameter for bearing is the noise. And noise in SKF terminology, we check noise by checking vibration. And that's why we have our own developed machine, MBM, which checks vibration. Now, vibration comes from the different vendors, you can say, and we have a software called VVR. VVR is a software which understand and checks the vibration of inner ring, outer ring, and rolling element, and put together give the result in the form of L, H, and M band. When these bearings get rejected, so there are 2 kind of problem. One is the scrape or rejection happens. We have our own tolerances beyond which, and it has also depend on the application. Some application are extremely noise sensitive, where we have to have the quality beyond which this cannot go. For some application, it's a different tolerances. So one is the scrap or rejection which happens. Another thing also, it is important to understand why this problem is coming. So as of now, the MBM machine only rejects the bearing, but it is not telling why is this wrong. This will say okay, this is in the L band or H band or M band, whichever, but further analysis is not available. And that is why we thought to do some kind of analytics and deploy some artificial intelligence. Now, this is what we have done. So all the machines which are responsible for noise, these are in series, and every machine has sensors to detect some data. Like IMX8, and we have SKF, Axios also, which is a vibration sensor. We have put up in different places like slides or dresser or different components or even motor spindle, from where the vibration can come, which can generate vibration in the rings. All these data, and of course, finally MBM data, which is the last operation. This also put together, all this data go to OPC, but via MGuard for cybersecurity. Now, this data then go to OPC server, and then we have go to SKF cloud. And here, all the complete analysis, this is where the algorithm is, AI algorithm is available. which of course have come after a lot of data has been fed. It does the relative study and the correlation between different axes which are responsible for noise, y is equal to fx. So how many axes are responsible and which particular band where this problem is coming or vibration is coming, that checks automatically and then give the result in the form of this dashboard, which I will show in the next screen, the last, along with the result, okay, what you should do now to reduce it or solve this problem. So this is helping us a lot. And come to the next screen. This is the kind of dashboard which comes to us live on real-time basis. And this has been even now coupled with the some kind of trigger to the mobile phone of channel supervisors. If any particular band or rejection goes beyond a limit, this comes as a trigger, and also with the solution. If this is rate, for example, Q44, which is a tolerance, if this is in M band, this is coming. So what should be the action? And this is what algorithm is throwing to us. So now no need of doing any investigation, because this investigation, which was being done earlier manually at the end of the shift, it is happening on real-time basis. And immediately, depending upon the action and the rejection rate, machine stops and this particular action is being taken, because it is coming just as a kind of spoon feeding. Just do this and think problem will get solved. So we have a huge relief with that. Our productivity, our OE has improved. So these kind of cases, but it is not easy. It looks like easy, but while developing, while implementing, it took a lot of time, lot of time. And after this has become successful as a POC, and we are still trying it on that. After, and more data will come, better result will come. And after that, it will be scaled up to all the production channel and in all our factories. But this is something which I thought is worth sharing, which has given good result. That's it from my side, so that in this presentation. I think I had only one case. There are a couple of more on computer vision and all that, but this is more relevant, which is very recent.
All right, Mr. Sreeji and Mr. Shailesh, thank you so much for sharing your views. I'm sure it will. These insights will benefit our attendees a lot, and they would be able to implement these in their respective businesses. Thank you so much for your time.